Okay, we're at the end of our session. I think we've legitimately worked together close to a month now.
Yeah.
So you came to me, binging, purging, bulimic. You said the 6 weeks, you found my YouTubes how long ago?
About 6 months ago, I think.
And how long have you been researching and trying to find help on YouTube and the internet with your bulimia? On top of why don't you list the stuff you've done to try to recover?
Oh my goodness, where do I start? Okay, try prescription medications,
like antidepressants?
60 milligrams a day of fluoxetine, which I think is a really high dose. It's like 3 times the dose for depression. But counselling.
How many different counselors?
Oh, I've lost count. One was, I went to a counselling office and they sat me in front of a computer to do an online self-help binge eating bulimic program.
Mm-hmm. Did anybody ever recognize that you're anorexic?
I have been very, very thin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been hospitalized?
No. Well,
have you been in like inpatient rehab?
No, I've been in outpatient.
Outpatient, where you would go in to a clinic for bulimia. They would.
Yeah. See an individual therapist, and then there was group therapy on an outpatient basis.
And they would monitor your food intake and your weight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you were always like, don't show me the weight, but they would be like, oh, we can see you've had a good weight by your weight loss, or, oh, you've had terrible couple weeks by your weight gain. At an eating disorder clinic.
Yeah.
Anyways, and you'd been looking online. Have you ever reached out to someone like myself before for help?
I tried an online program just about 2 months ago.
Yeah, why do you think that one didn't work?
Because the subtext was, if you do this, then you'll be thin.
I know you're laughing at that now, right? So you started this all liquid diet, you said 6 weeks before contacting me, which that inflamed, that was like putting gas onto the problem, right?
Oh,
it was the 40 plus years that you've been suffering with an extreme level of an eating disorder. It was made far worse than it had ever been in your entire life over the last 6 weeks before calling me.
Yeah.
And you were online looking for my YouTube 6 months ago, and found me, and then we were just saying, go ahead. What I want you to say it.
Yeah.
That you would watch my YouTube videos and
it's like, I'm an intelligent, well-educated person, but it's like I couldn't understand.
You were a PhD. You have a PhD. You're a doctorate.
Yeah. Do you know the teacher on Snoopy? Blah blah blah.
Well, we were talking, and there was something though that kept you watching my YouTube videos.
I found it strangely fascinating, and I really desperately wanted to understand what you were saying, but it's like I just couldn't hear it. But I knew that there was truth there. I could sense it, and I could see that it was very honest. And I've tried so many things. Been to Overeaters Anonymous for about 20 years, and another 12-step program for eating disorders called See How, which was horrendous because that was a diet. And then so I Googled you and then went to the website, and I couldn't get the form to submit, so I went to your Facebook page and put a message on there and got an immediate response, and I think I spoke to you the same day. and I was in a bad way. I was really, really in a bad way. I've been binging and throwing up the whole day that day. I didn't think I could even speak, let alone have a consultation with anybody. I was so desperate. I thought, just sit in front of the computer, just sit there, even if you can't say anything. Just get yourself in front of that computer and take that call. And I'd never used Skype before. I didn't have Skype on my computer. I had to work out how to load that. I was shaking because I've been binging and throwing up all day. It was just horrendous.
Oh, there's a ice cream truck. You should go get some. Too funny.
It's pitch dark here, can you see?
So, but you had watched me 6 months prior, and we were talking about cognitive dissonance. That even though there were so much truth in what you were hearing, it was really uncomfortable, maybe almost anxiety. There was an anxiety hearing some of it because it was really forcing you. Well, it was questioning this thinness and opening up this idea that you have to let it go. So to some degree, it makes my YouTube videos untouchable, right? Because the option of accepting body fat that's not an option. So, but the reality of the truth of what I was saying was hitting there was a level of truth you were hearing that kept you watching the videos despite the cognitive dissonance you would experience watching them.
Yeah, I found them really deeply uncomfortable viewing. I didn't like.
Did you ever thumb down any of them?
I didn't actually, just because I don't do that. Yeah. But if I thought of it, I would. Yeah. I would. Yeah.
This woman's crazy. Why am I still watching her?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So would you say that you recovered that first session, that was it?
It's scary to say because it's just seems so extraordinary. But yes, I really think
something happened.
Something happened. Well, no, I think something happened. I know something happened because I'm in a different position. I can see things in a completely, radically different way. I said earlier, it's like night and day. It's really that so different, the way that I see myself, and because I was really just mired in just horrendous, debilitating self-pity, and I just could not get my head around the idea that thin does not necessarily equal happy. I really thought that was the equation, thin equals happy. And before speaking to you the first time, I was keeping a diary and I was writing all the reasons why thin does not equate to happiness in this journal to try and make myself believe it, and I didn't believe it. I was just...
You didn't believe it, don't you agree, until there were a few moments in that first session, of which we recorded, where I questioned your shame about yourself and the deserving of that shame, and you opened your mind to the fact that that was true. But the other thing was actually going into what life would be like, not just in this body, but morbidly obese.
Yeah.
That if that is what had to happen, what your life would be like. And in that, you felt freedom.
Yeah, you took me to the beach.
What will the beach be like?
Yeah.
And that moment, you realize that it's not thinness that will make you happy, it's freedom.
Yeah, because it was just the perfect thing to say to me, because I absolutely love the beach and the sea air and the sound of the sea, everything about the beach. So you took me to the perfect place, and I could be on the beach and weigh, I don't know, 400 pounds and be happy, because
The beach is happy.
Yeah.
That it's not the body, it's the experience that the body gives you that doesn't matter.
I've been going to the beach and not been happy because I've just been thinking, oh, I'm too fat and I have to walk 10 miles to work off some calories, and just not seeing the beach or the sea air or hearing the sea. Just been so preoccupied with myself and my body and my weight, just missing the whole thing. And that's really sad because I do love the beach. But
well, and you realize too that experience or freedom, there's freedom in just accepting the body, that if you can just accept the body, even if it becomes morbidly obese, that freedom is what is happiness.
Yeah. That's given me a degree of resilience, I think, that I didn't know was possible, because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter how big or small I am.
Mm-mm. So what has happened to your binging and purging and incredibly obsessive compulsive dieting that your entire life was devoted to?
I have not binged once since that first consultation, or felt any desire to do so.
That's the key right there, right?
I've had no compulsive feelings whatsoever around food.
And you've eaten a lot of variety.
Even when I've eaten so-called trigger foods, and I've had quite a few trigger foods because I've been ill with bronchitis, and sometimes they're just easy things to have to hand, and I've just really enjoyed them and eaten them and thought, what the hell is food?
Mm-hmm.
Just forgotten about it, and it's in the cupboard, and I haven't eaten everything within an hour of it landing in the cupboard at all. I felt Saturday night is such a bad night because I live on my own. I don't go out anywhere. I just watch telly and I just sit in this mire of self-pity on a Saturday night, and then start arguing myself that, oh, I can just have one biscuit, and I just have one, then I can have another one, and then I'd eat the whole packet. And then Saturday night I sat there as contented as can be, totally comfortable. That feeling of comfort, I can't ever remember feeling just so comfortable. That sounds crazy. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing anything different or special, or I haven't had new furniture or redecorated. I was in the same room, in the same house, in the same armchair.
With the same body, with the same life, with the same job, with the same mom and dad.
And I just felt so at ease. Just that sense of ease. Just like, oh, thank you, God. Just, it's so miserable where I was before. So miserable. Can't even.
Can you pinpoint the moment things shifted for you? The very moment? Do you have a pinpoint where it just, the grace of forgiving fatness, right? You did say earlier how shameful you were with the people who were overweight around you, even in Overeaters Anonymous, the level of judgment you had towards others. God, there's a fly. Sorry.
Yeah, I have been incredibly judgmental of other people and their weight, body size, and incredibly judgmental.
Yeah. Do you recall the moment where we looked at that in yourself, and where that moment you realized that is not worthy of being ashamed of?
I do, really clearly, because that was a major turning point, and you really, really challenged me, and you didn't take any of my crap.
And I didn't let up, right? We're going to go back. Let's try it again.
Yeah.
Do you feel that was the moment things changed? And then the beach scene, right? The grace of giving yourself grace, love, compassion with the body fat, right?
You described it as you went into the cave and you pulled me to the door.
Well, I said, here's a door. There's the door. If you want out. But if I leave, I'm going to be fat. Yep, let's talk about it.
Yeah. So the first week I did have some waves of anxiety that transition between being awake and being asleep at night. Sometimes you get a panicky feeling, and I get a panicky feeling and think, oh, my belly's so big and I'm not doing anything about it. And
we talked about that last session.
And the next night it was, oh, my belly's going to get so big and I can't stand it. But I think it was just like an aftershock, like a hangover. It was just that the physical adrenaline, the adrenal system just working its way through it, and it didn't affect how I was the next day. It was just like a hangover, if you like, from that way of thinking, and I haven't had it since. I haven't felt any anxiety. We had that consultation after that was really, really helpful, because we went back over it again about, well, no, let's go there. Put yourself in that body. And I did, and it was fine. There's nothing to be afraid of.
All right. Kicking booty. Yeah, you pretty much recovered how I did. I mean, it was like miraculous.
Yeah. Weird. Good weird.
I know it. I'll take it any day, you know. Yeah. I've just got to get better, I think well, I don't know. I mean, I intuitively feel connected with each client. When I'm working with someone, there's a lot of intuition that goes into how I go through that, but like how I work myself around the individual and how I get into the cave with you, you know, getting in there, I got to kind of know where you're at, but I really feel that I'm trying to get it to where I can explain this in a book. How would you explain this?
It's very, very difficult to put into words. I think getting your clients to tell their story is probably a good way of explaining it. And so little vignettes where clients explain how it felt for them and what they went through and what changed and what it's like now.
That's kind of what I've been trying to capture in the YouTube videos, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can tell it's hard because I can hear clients when they're talking that they're finding it hard to verbalize as well.
Yeah, you just feel like food isn't stressful anymore, and I'm giving myself the freedom of the food that used to be incredibly stressful. I don't binge anymore. I don't want to binge, nor do I have the impulse to binge. I'm okay if I gain weight, and I don't care if I lose weight. I don't think about my weight. I mean, these are all things that would be a fantasy.
Yeah, it doesn't explain that gestalt flip that takes you to that position.
Yeah, I've got to get better at explaining it. For me, it's like, okay, I got to look at that concept of it being a syndrome, which is why it is such a flip, a form of brainwashing. Now, we talked about that too, that it is kind of like coming out of a brainwashing environment, that it is a survival-oriented environment. You know, you feel like it's literally fight or flight in a death situation, which is why your behavior is so impulsive, I got to figure it out. All right.
And Carl Jung, the psychologist, he's often quoted in Alcoholics Anonymous meetings because he talks about that shift in consciousness that's an absolute prerequisite for recovery from those kinds of weird, compulsive, destructive
Mm-hmm.
disorders. So that might be worth
Looking into Carl Jung.
Yeah.
God, this fly. All right. Well, thanks for letting me share.